to another gathering of the Gold Key Adventurers Society. Have a seat by the fire as we prepare to help you unlock the secrets of the travel life. From theme park thrills to Purple Mountain's majesty, we want to see it all and do it all, and we want to help you do the same. We all have those bucket list trips, once-in-a-lifetime destinations that we'll get to someday. We're here to help you make your travel dreams a reality. Buy the ticket, take the trip. Where do you want to go?
Come on, now tell me what's on your bucket list. Okay, hey, it's a beautiful day. Okay, hey, it's a beautiful day.
Extreme is the word we'd use to describe these crazy theme park rides that make us step back and say WTF. But first, travel news, including the most boring hotel in Las Vegas and a celebration of baby food. Gather up your courage and keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. It's time to hit the trail with the Gold Key Adventure Society. Well, that didn't last long. Just 1 week after our nice, calm, quiet, and highly professional recording session at Gold Key Adventure Society headquarters, we're once again recording in a noisy, thrilling, and potentially dangerous location. Specifically a Ferris wheel, but not one of those fancy newfangled ones where you stand in a giant enclosed pod and take in majestic views of a glorious landscape while moving at a leisurely pace and enjoying snacks and beverages. This is the kind that rolls into town on the back of a semi-truck, and you sit crammed knee to knee in a tiny bucket that swings gently back and forth while you rotate backwards at a surprisingly fast rate. What is wrong with us?
Okay.
Let's get to this week's travel news, but first, I was wondering, since the big game, you know which one.
The one we can't say on... Why can't you say the name of that? Do they sue people for saying...
Yeah.
No, we can all say it. Come on,
another
Puppy Bowl. Come on, say it, Puppy Bowl.
What?
Guys, the more you well, the more I'm going to have to bleep out the word ball, and then it's going to be really, really hard to listen to.
You can't say what?
You can't on a commercial because then the people pay to be the exclusive soft drink of
the big sports ball game.
If Frito-Lay can say I can say Super.
Yeah, well, just to be safe.
Let's call it the hyperbole.
Yes.
There you go.
Hyperbole.
Well, anyway, since that game is the day after we're recording this episode, I thought it'd be fun to make some predictions on some of the crazier proposition bets that are being offered by sports books, so that on Tuesday our listeners can laugh at how wrong we were. So I've got some propositions for you, and I want to see what you'll take, what you think's going to happen. First, how long will it take Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan to perform the national anthem? The over-under on this one is 1 minute and 59 seconds.
Who are Eric Church and Jasmine
Country
Sullivan?
dude.
I have no
Church is a
idea.
country dude.
Yeah.
I don't know the lady. I assume she's probably...
Are they some singer people?
I'm going to go a full 2 minutes because they're going to...
If they're doing it as a duet, you got to add, like a full minute
They're
onto
going to
the
each
normal.
take turns doing some runs. And
Oof.
I mean, if they're going to perform Islands in the Stream, I'll listen. But other than that, I ain't really into that.
I'm out.
Well, if J-Lo can medley, what was that song of hers that she fit into This Land Is Our Land, then they can...
Oh, yeah.
Jenny from the Block?
Yeah.
I like when she couldn't help herself at the inauguration. She, come on, everybody. And there's like 4 people out there and they're 90.
Oh,
Bernie
it's a
Sanders trying to
bunch
clap
of
with his
old
mittens
white
on.
Dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When is she going to finish? I've got stuff to mail.
Next up, how many times will Giselle Bundchen be shown on the broadcast? The Vegas bookmakers put this one at over and under at 1.5.
What position is she playing?
Only 1.5
What?
times?
That's crazy.
There's no way. They're going to show her 6 times.
10. I'm going
I'll go,
10.
sure, 10.
Do you not know who she is?
Is she model?
Tom Brady. She's a...
She is a supermodel.
She is a supermodel. She can fly. She
Why
has
is she
laser
at the
vision.
game? What's the, why
she's
is
married
to Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, there you go.
He's the
footballist.
quarterback of the...
Yes. He's a famous
Buccaneers.
footballer, and he got himself a supermodel wife.
I thought he was the dad on the Brady Bunch.
Right. Exactly.
Not the actor one, the footballist. How many commercials will feature dogs in them? Vegas thinks that they're set the over-under at 4.5.
So many. 5.
I will be just watching the Puppy Bowl, so for me, it's going to be 24/7.
Perfect.
Didn't they used to have like some kind of lingerie bowl also?
Yes, they
Remember
did.
that?
Is that the Spice Channel? Is that pay-per-view?
Yeah, somebody.
It was yes, it was supermodels
It was
in
like on Spike
lingerie
TV or something. They
playing
used to have.
football.
It was like the Puppy Bowl. It happened during the commercial break.
Yeah.
And it was women in lingerie playing football.
Yes.
Spike TV is the only possible answer for which network. That was
R.I.P. Spike TV.
the classiest.
I think it was on Nat Geo.
You can find that on Disney Plus now.
And finally, what color Gatorade will be dumped on the winning coach?
Red.
That's
I don't
that's a
even
bad
know
image.
what colors of Gatorades there are.
Vegas thinks it's going to be orange, although if you want a really good payout on a long shot bet, you would go with clear or water instead.
Yeah. Interesting.
Guys, people actually put money down on this now.
Seriously?
Oh, this is real? These are real?
Alabama seems to usually have red stuff dumped on them because they're red, and both of these teams have red.
I thought they always go for the classic, was it lemon lime yellow?
Yeah, that
the
sort of
pea-colored
greenish
one.
yellow one.
It
Yeah.
looks like you got too much iron.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a healthy piss. Well, anyway, the news this week is brought to you by Key to the World Travel.
Super Bowl.
If you'd like a healthy piss, call Key to the World.
Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency specializing in theme parks, cruising, I broke. I'm
We
broken.
broke Dan.
I'm a broken man. Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency specializing in theme parks, cruising, and destinations around the world. Head to www.keytotheworldtravel.com for more details and a no-obligation quote on the vacation of a lifetime. Jess has some cold and wet news for us.
Oh. That's the way I like it.
It's all about dog noses. What?
Oh.
Hot, wet news.
Well, as we were discussing before the show, most of the country is about to be in the desperate throes of winter. But if you're down in Florida, Volcano Bay at Universal
Yay.
Orlando Resort is about to reopen. So
Perfect time to reopen a water park when it's going to be 30 degrees.
yeah, they're planning to reopen on February 27th. So maybe by that time it will have warmed back up again.
That would be
It's
nice.
already mid-spring in Orlando.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
gonna be
they're
bad down
rushing to beat out Disney opening Blizzard Beach back up on March, 4th?
there. I think
first,
so. Yeah,
7th?
early March.
Sometime in the first week of
Sometime
March.
around there. Yeah, Volcano Bay's been closed since November, for the cold weather. And obviously it's going to have the same sort of restrictions in place for capacity like the other parks. So make sure you check before you show up because they will.
Especially on the
close down.
weekends.
Yeah, I have a feeling as soon as this opens up, we're going to see it hit capacity a lot.
Although I feel like the locals aren't going to be rushing there until it's Florida hot. They're
Yeah.
not. You're not going to see locals at Volcano Bay when it's only 70 degrees.
Yeah, because they still think it's cold when it's 75.
Yeah, they're wearing winter parkas at
Yes.
70 degrees.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe you'll be okay for the first few weeks.
But if anything, hopefully that will sort of help the capacity issues that they've been having at the theme parks because you're going to, have people at least spreading out their visits. So hopefully that'll be good.
Definitely, especially people from the colder parts of the world. We'd go to a water park in March.
Yeah. And the water's heated in most of the pools and
Yeah.
everything. Fine. Just stay in it.
Yeah, don't get out.
I have yet to go spend a day there. I've visited there. I've toured through it, but I haven't
It's
spent a day
beautiful.
there. It looks so beautiful.
It's fun. And
My
I don't
favorite-
like water parks and I love that.
Yeah,
place.
I don't like them either. My favorite attraction there is the cabana, where you're in the shade and you have a fan and they bring you drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I hang out
Sign
while
me
my
up.
family hits the slides. Well, I found I think I found my next theme park destination, you guys. It's opening in one of my favorite cities in the world, London, England. In 2024, they are opening a new theme park that they're calling the London Resort. They didn't spend very much money on a marketing team.
It's
to
not
come
enough
up with a
words
name.
either.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like snakes on a plane.
Right?
You know what's happening.
But the plans are for a 3.5 billion pounds
That's heavy.
resort. Yeah. In central London. They're going to have 2 theme parks, a water park, thousands of hotel rooms. And I love this part. There are going to be ferry terminals on the River Thames. So you can hop on a ferry from central London and head down the river to this resort, which sounds really cool. It's supposed to open in 2024 if they finish on time. They say that 70% of the attractions will be indoors, given that the weather there
This
is.
is London.
Well, then why do they have a
Great.
water park?
Yeah, the water park I don't think is going to be
Just go stand in the
functioning.
London rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's jumping in puddles.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks really pretty cool. You'll enter through the high street where there are shops and restaurants. That's apparently also where the water park is. Before you reach an area described as a gritty modern day warehouse district. The studios, yeah.
Or you'll get shanked in the alley.
It seems like it. The Woods is going to be a storybook fantasy land that puts a fresh spin on beloved bedtime stories. Interesting. The Kingdom is going to be an immersive realm of swords, sorcery, dragons, and legend. The Isles is described as a land of giant creatures, mythical beasts, and adventures. And then there's going to be an overgrown ancient ruins section called the Jungle. Seems odd.
Because, England jungle.
Right, yeah. And then a sci-fi land called the Starport with futuristic experiences, alien encounters, and big thrill rides.
Sounds like no IP happening in the.
No, there's IP, but it's
Yeah, they've dubbed themselves UK Disneyland, but they're drawing on British IP, so characters, movies, shows, stuff that has been produced in England. Although I assume there's not going to be any Harry Potter stuff because JK already sold that to Universal. So
it just seems like if they had these IPs locked down, they would have mentioned them in this.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I would like to
you're
request
probably going to see some Knights of the Round Table and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd like
Doctor
to see
Who,
an
where's
e-ticket
Doctor-
ride based on Mr. Bean. That would be.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, they could do it exactly like
Oh,
Jimmy
if
Fallon's
the-
Race Through New York, but
Yeah.
Mr. Bean.
Benny Hill's race
if
through.
the Starport doesn't
Yeah, I would yakety sax the hell out of that.
That'd be
thing.
fun. If the Starport doesn't feature Doctor Who, then someone needs to be punished.
Well, and then Paramount, so they could do Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh,
Or-
true.
or
Yeah.
Triple X, The Godfather.
Oh, wait, is this Paramount?
Yeah. So they have partnered with the BBC, ITV Studios, and Paramount Pictures
Oh.
for their intellectual property. They're not saying what is going to be used yet, but that is who they have partnered with to get some IP to draw people in. So
That's a pretty
BBC,
broad amount
that
of-
would definitely be Doctor Who.
I think we
Paramount made the 2012 movie of the Avengers, the old.
I love that movie.
So I bet you
Yeah.
they'll include that.
I think we can all look forward to a coupling ride, or maybe one based on the original Office. Or
I need a
Faulty Towers.
I need a Ricky
walkthrough.
Gervais.
Oh,
ride.
yeah.
I want a
or
Fatty
maybe-
Owls
I would
ride
love
for
that.
sure. Yeah,
And Monty Python. You could have a whole Monty Python land.
Tour the actual Ministry of Silly Walk.
Yeah, I was just going to say you can't enter unless you do a silly walk. That would be amazing. Yeah, I mean, I love
go,
London, so I'm putting this on my list. It's the first park is supposed to open in 2024, so
that's pretty quick.
fingers crossed. Yeah, not too far off.
Let's go.
The London Resort.
There seems
there.
to be an Eiffel Tower in the London Resort.
That's curious. Oh yeah, I see that in the concept art.
Apparently, they're annexing.
Yeah, well,
They're copying my T-shirts
Times
from
are
our
tough,
trip.
guys. In this economy, we can't afford.
The British have always claimed some ownership of parts of France, so
Yeah.
it's not surprising.
And most other countries.
Yes.
Nope, that's all.
Well, someplace that you're not going to be able to go in 2024, Jess.
Yeah. Sadly,
Wah, wah.
the Blue Man Group are leaving Universal Orlando Resort after
Boo.
a 14-year run and more than 6,000 shows, which is pretty crazy. They have not announced a replacement. There's not been any word as to exactly why, although, the fact that they haven't been able to open the show since last
COVID
year.
killed it.
Yeah. They are going to continue to perform in Las Vegas, New York, Chicago, and Boston. And we don't have any word for a replacement for that theater, but obviously I think when things get back up and running, something will have to go in there because that's just wasted
Could we
space.
go into the swamps and find some more of the French clowns and put the
Roll
Cirque
those
du
guys in
Soleil
there?
in there?
Can they go back to the Nickelodeon studios over there? And let's get flying again?
Well, until a
yeah.
replacement is found, it will continue to be a makeshift house for Julia Stiles.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
She will be sleeping on a makeshift pad that she puts on the stage.
Well, it will be called the House of Styles.
Yes.
We all saw the show at Universal, right? All of us here.
Yeah.
I've seen it
Love
5 times.
I saw it with you guys back a couple years ago.
Spring Fling.
It was a lot of fun. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. You know, you kind of think I'd seen stuff about it for so long. I thought it was going to be pretty cheesy, but I found it to be a lot of fun. So I'm sad
It's
it's really cool.
fun. It's weird, and
Yeah,
I love
it. The
I love
music is
weird
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
I've actually seen them 2 times outside of that main show. I saw they toured a couple of times on How to Be a Rock Star, and then they did How to Be an Arena Rock Star. It was a very cool show.
I
Totally
like it.
different theme. It was the same, weird stuff, but they did a lot of like those instructional videos that come on and teach you how to do things to be a rock star. And then they had guest performers.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Very cool.
I mean, the one at Universal, who couldn't love a show where they end it with every euphemism for the word butt? I mean,
Your
it's a whole
moneymaker.
it's a whole song. Yes.
Your Abe Vigoda.
That was good.
Oh, so good. And they shoot toilet paper at you while they're singing the song
Yep.
about shaking your moneymaker.
That's when about 30% of our agents were like, I'm out. This is stupid. And I'm just like, yes. More butt jokes.
Well, speaking of having toilet paper thrown at you, Heather's got a positive story.
I'm gonna go throw toilet paper at Canada. Yeah, the Canada has decided to put the kibosh on basically the entire Alaska cruise season when they announced this week that they are closing their waters and their ports to cruising all the way through February 28th of 2022, which basically means that U.S. cruise lines are not going to be able to sail to Alaska at all this summer, thanks to the Jones Act, which is basically a law, an antiquated law that says that any ship that's not flagged in the United States has to visit a foreign port if it's sailing between 2 U.S. ports. So if you're sailing from, say, Seattle to Alaska, you have to have a stop at a foreign port, either on the way there or on the way back, if you're not flagged in the U.S. It's a really antiquated transportation law, and the travel industry, we've been wanting this thing repealed for years. I don't think it's going to happen, but for Alaska sailings, that means that everybody stops in Vancouver to get that.
Or launches from
Vancouver. Yeah. And you cannot do that this year. So there are very few cruise lines that are flagged in the U.S. because if you sail under the U.S. flag, you have to have some crazy number of your staff. I think it's 75% or more of your staff have to be American citizens.
Yeah, and they'd have to pay a living wage.
Yeah.
To be a real drag.
So there's only one cruise ship that I can think of. The Pride of America is Norwegian Cruise Line's ship that's flagged in the U.S. And they've done that because they sail it in Hawaii. And that way they can do inter-island cruises around Hawaii and not have to stop in a foreign port. Because if you have to stop in a foreign port when you're doing Hawaii, it basically means you got to come all the way back. And they usually stop in somewhere in Mexico, I think, and then they let the passengers off in LA. So it's a possibility that if Norwegian really wanted to do Alaska, they could sail the Pride of America. There's another cruise line called Uncruise Adventures, and they operate really small ships, and they are flagged in the U.S., so they could also do it. But
I read another article about that, though. People were talking about if they get the Jones Act repealed, they could still have the season. But that includes Canadians international or in their waters. You have to pass those waters, which is stupid because you're not going to launch COVID from the ship onto the shore. But that I don't think even the Jones Act being repealed would make it happen. And it's not just Alaska. The whole other coast has that intercoastal leaf peeping tours in the fall. My brother was supposed to go on one of these. Yeah, those are gorgeous. One of these tours, one of these cruises in October. And I was actually telling him about that law last night. And he was like, shit, I'm going on one of those.
Yeah,
I said,
no, you're not.
Yep. He said, we haven't heard anything from the cruise line yet. So we'll get ready. It's coming.
They're trying to figure it out, I'm sure. That what they would have to do to avoid sailing through Canadian waters is it would just have to be the cruises that originate and end in Alaska. So you could sail around to the glaciers. Now we'll still be able to visit Alaska. There are a ton of land-based tours that are really popular for Alaska. It's the folks who want to see the glaciers from a ship, and that's me. Me too. And it's extremely popular, and it's a huge part of Alaska's local economy. The last year has been really hurting them, and extending that out another year is going to be pretty devastating for Alaska. So I'm really, really disappointed in this ruling, particularly now that we have vaccines that are available. And I just don't see this lasting for an entire year, that it would need to be shut down.
And, I'm no lawyer, but
really,
like, why can't they just because they have to stop at a Canadian port doesn't mean they have to let anybody off. So why can't we just promise we'll stop here overnight? Nobody's going to get off the ship.
That's
so
fair.
There's no germs coming into your country, and then we'll
That's a great
leave
idea.
in the morning. I'm not that smart, but I figured that out pretty quick.
That's the other part of it. And not just saying that their ports are closed, but like Jeff was pointing out, that their waters are closed. What? Yeah. I don't understand. Unless that they're worried that if a ship in their waters encounters a difficulty and has to port, then they have to let them. I don't know. It seems
I'm
crazy.
sure commercial traffic's going through there.
Yeah, this ban is on all passenger vessels that are leisure based, so they are allowing shipping, of course. But this is even shutting down small, like folks out in boats,
cruises.
Yeah, you can't do any of it. So I don't know.
It's another just overly sweeping.
The Canadian booze cruise industry is really hurting.
Well, just anything, any of the sightseeing, whale watching, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
and I mean,
for that size vessel, it was something silly, like groups over 24 or something like that.
And if you look at the new regulations that cruise ships are going to have to meet and the protocols they're going to have in place in order to sail at all, this seems extreme because the safety measures are really, really intense that are going to be happening when cruises are actually allowed to sail. And we don't even know when that's going to be yet because they haven't allowed any test sailings to start. Several of the cruise lines have had many of their ships given the green light for getting their protocols and their safety measures in place, but they still have to do those test sailings to get the approval from the CDC to go. And I don't see that happening until the fall. So it's possible that Alaska could have been impacted by this anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting there to be a season anyway. This just feels very final.
It does. Yeah. And then, Alaska and like Jeff was mentioning, all of those coastal cruises in the fall. By the fall, surely we could have some safe sailings.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. They leave from New York and go up into Halifax, Nova Scotia, and
it's beautiful up there in the fall, and it's really cool to be on a ship sailing past the Statue of Liberty. It's very cool, and seeing the Manhattan skyline. It's a great itinerary. But I guess what I would recommend now is planning on those trips to happen in 2022.
Like everything else.
Yep. The hits just keep on coming.
Well, if you need help following protocol, you need a protocol droid. And Jess can tell us where you can find a protocol droid in California soon.
Yeah. So Star Wars Trading Post is coming to downtown Disney very soon. They've been, this is actually where the Rainforest Cafe used to be. They've gutted it, and on February 19th, it'll be turning into a new gift shop for Star Wars merchandise.
Star Wars
that should be permanently made into an Indiana Jones restaurant.
Yeah. It's already got, that look to it. Right now, they're just putting these kind of weird, like, cargo nets over it and trying to make it look like some sort of hidden rebel base, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another port we've never heard of or cared about to turn into an amusement park thing.
But also on February 19th, Wonderground Gallery reopens. So
that's good.
That's exciting.
In the same location?
Yes, that one's going to stay in its same location.
Good.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure why they had shut that down.
Maybe because of the way it's set up. There's not a lot of space, because they've got a lot of tables with art in the middle of the room, and you're kind of squeezed in there. So I don't know. Who knows?
Huh.
The shadow knows.
I don't think they're going to have any signings or anything like that anytime soon.
When are we going to get a theme park attraction based on that IP?
The failed Alec Baldwin movie.
Failed. I love that movie. It was a success in my heart.
Yeah, I liked it. It was better than The Phantom with Billy Zane.
Ooh. Or The Green Hornet with
Seth Rogen.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go watch WandaVision again to get the taste out of my mouth.
Wow. Speaking of having a bad taste in your mouth.
I love your
I've got another
segues.
weird festival. Oh, wait, no. Heather's got something first.
Oh, yeah. I've got an exciting new resort coming to Las Vegas, and I wanted to hear what you guys think about this.
Sin City.
Sin City, coming in 2024, a brand new resort called the Majestic Las Vegas. But there's two unusual rules that this hotel is going to have. No smoking, which I'm totally cool with. That's great. And number two, no gambling.
So it's Howard Johnson.
Yeah. It's not even, and it's not going to be on the Strip. It's going to be 2 blocks off the Strip. I'm not sure what they're going to have to offer at this particular resort.
There's a few other
it's a wellness
nice
spa.
Resorts that there's one that's like a spa that's like Red Rock Spa or something. It doesn't have a casino either. And I'm like, why?
Why? Yeah. This one is going to be right across from the Las Vegas Convention Center. So I suspect that what they're targeting here is conventioneers
Christian
who are not into the traditional offerings in Las Vegas. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be an $850 million resort that has a 5-star hotel with suites. There are several of the suites have swim up rooms that are a lot like what you see in the Caribbean and in Mexico, which is cool. I don't think I've seen that in a resort in Las Vegas before. Beautiful penthouse sky suites. It's a high rise hotel, and it looks really beautiful. They're touting that it's going to be a great place for dining and shows, but no smoking, no gambling. And to Dan's point, there is going to be a 70,000 square foot medical wellness spa in the resort. So
yes, it's going to take up 4 floors of the resort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you're trying to attract convention business, the people that have conventions in Vegas want the things they don't allow there.
Yes.
Well, at least the gambling.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that just wants more smoke. But
I mean, if you think about it,
thank you.
it might actually be nice because you could gamble and smoke pretty much anywhere else in Vegas. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a break to get back to your hotel and not have to walk through a casino and
That's true.
not have to deal with that.
I like the Aria, which is smoke free. They still have gambling, but you can't smoke. So that's kind of a haven for me there, because at all of the other resorts, while they do amazing things with smoke eaters in Vegas, it still is just a pervasive
funk.
we didn't go anywhere near the smoking areas, and still at the end of the day, we just reek of cigarette smoke. So I'm down with the no smoking.
Really
oh yeah. Caesars.
Our convention was housed at Caesars. We had stayed at the Aria before, and it was pretty great. And then we came over to Caesars, and it was low ceilings and just filled with smoke.
It felt like there was a tobacco convention in town. It was gross. Your eyes burn within 5 minutes. It's just not good. But yeah, that's a good point, Jess. You can walk right out your door of this resort and probably stumble over 17 casinos.
Yeah, you said it's like the Howard Johnson, but I guarantee you the Howard Johnson's has a couple slot machines in the lobby.
The airport has them right at every gate.
Yeah.
The pool area looks pretty spectacular, and it's not far from the strip. It says it's 2 blocks off, and the tower will have beautiful views of the strip. So could be cool. Might be an interesting prospect. Once shows can come back, honestly, that's my favorite part of Vegas. There are some incredible shows there.
Yeah, I can't wait to go see Siegfried and Roy.
Oh, no.
Hey, man, a little something we need to tell you.
Yeah.
Hey, Penn and Teller are still going strong, so we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
that's
fingers
what I want to
crossed,
see.
all right? Teller's getting up there.
If something happens and I cause it, I'm going to feel so bad.
Yeah, it's going to be your fault.
Well, speaking of people that can't smoke,
This is a great segue.
I've got another weird festival for you guys. I mean, we could go back to the bad taste in your mouth, too. That'll fit, too. Did you know that Fremont, Michigan is the baby food capital of the world?
Yes, I did know that.
It's the world headquarters of Gerber Baby Food Company. And every year they host the National Baby Food Festival.
Which no one wants to go to this. Come on.
Are you kidding me?
Really? Is it popular?
Oh, they have,
it's like the
they have
International
a baby food eating
and Wine
contest.
Festival for babies.
Yeah. Well, they have the baby food
Taste
eating
of
contest.
baby food, international
Heck,
food.
baby food eating contest? Gross.
Well, yeah. The one adult gets blindfolded, and the other person has to try to feed another grown-up baby food without being able to see them. They also have other events like for the kids. They have frog jumping and turtle racing contests, bubble blowing contest. But there's an annual bed race.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you put a bed on wheels and push it down the road.
Oh, okay.
But this
What does that have to do with baby food?
Right?
I don't know. It's just good old fashioned fun. But this is another festival. This is another festival that's near and dear to my heart for 2 reasons, actually. Number one, I want to say it was about 2009, 2008 or so, when I was playing with the Outer Five. We headlined the National Baby Food Festival.
Nice.
And then a few years later, once my oldest son was born, we went to visit this festival, and he competed in the headline attraction, which is the baby crawl race.
Oh,
Wyatt was in the baby crawl
did he
race?
have
only
little
was-
knee pads?
Not only was Wyatt in the baby crawl race, but he was that year's winner.
No way.
What?
Uh-huh, yeah.
How are we a
Leonard
year and a half into this
champion.
thing, and you're just now talking about this festival?
Right?
Yeah.
Bury the lead, man.
Yeah. My son was actually the only baby that even finished the race. The others got, they kind of got distracted and just crawled around in circles. And Wyatt had his eyes on the prize and made it all the way across the stage, across the finish line. And we've got the onesie to.
Was
prove that he's
Kendra at the
champion.
other end with cookies or something?
Yeah, Kendra and my mom.
One baby was disqualified for drug use, but we try not to talk about that. It's a really dark stain on the competition.
Yeah. So
His
Well,
juicy
that's
juice levels
amazing.
were over the top.
I don't know how I missed that my nephew is a baby crawl champion.
And another
I'm ashamed.
connection, Dan was actually the model for the Gerber baby.
yeah.
Actually, no, he was the copper tone girl. That was it's easy to get that mixed
I
up.
recognize that pale butt anywhere.
Pale butt.
Oh, they also have a. This isn't exciting as the baby crawl, so I don't know why I'm even bothering bringing it up now. They have a baby food cupcake challenge where you have to bake cupcakes and you have to include Gerber baby food in your.
That'd be easy.
Oh,
Use
yeah.
bananas.
Use bananas, yeah.
Something like that. So
Instead of
Anyway.
oil.
yeah, hopefully things will be safe for us to go check out the National Baby Food Festival sometime in mid-July in Fremont. Michigan.
Is Sophie too old for the crawling contest? she aged out of that. She's almost walking, so that maybe.
Enough Mai Tais, and I'm ready for that crawling contest. Hopefully, I'm not aged out.
I don't know if they have an adult edition.
I don't know.
Do they allow over 40-year-old?
That beard on your face may be a clear giveaway that
I swear I'm a baby. Yeah.
It looks like they do have adult tricycle races there.
Oh,
so
good.
you should be good.
And if you try to ride a tricycle as an adult, that's difficult.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is that the tricycle is the adult?
I think it's on kids' size. It wouldn't be any fun if it was on grown-up tricycles.
No, I mean like a grown-up as the tricycle. That would be a lot of fun.
Oh.
What?
Wow.
But
that's for a different episode.
Said adult tricycle.
There's questions, and I don't know if I want them answered.
No, don't.
I'll fill you in off air. How about that?
You do not want to know.
So instead, I'm just going to say stick around, because after the commercial break, we're going extreme with a look at some of the world's most WTF amusement park attractions. Extreme! Wow! When it comes to planning your next adventure, knowledge and preparation are always key. That's why a call to your Key to the World Travel Vacation Planner should always be at the top of your to-do list when you feel the urge to venture forth and explore the world. Key to the World Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner, specializing in travel to Disney theme parks around the world, as well as Disney Cruise Line, Aulani, and Adventures by Disney. With over 450 travel advisors who share a deep love for Disney destinations, Key to the World Travel has a wealth of knowledge and passion to help you experience all the magic with none of the work. Wherever your wanderlust is driving you, Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency with the expertise to get you where you want to go. So whether you're headed to Universal Studios, Hawaii, Europe, or somewhere a little farther off the beaten track, your first step should always be to visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a no-obligation quote. Their expert travel planners are standing by to help you with every detail of your perfect vacation. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com or at Key to the World Travel on Facebook. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. Now that our Ferris wheel ride is over, we've moved on to an even worse location for producing quality audio recordings. The Giant Swings Thrill Ride on the edge of a cliff. Not only is this experience downright terrifying, but the sounds of the wind and the horrified screams of our fellow riders are going to be a real pain to clean up and post. While we're up here, we might as well take a look at some of the craziest, biggest, fastest, and most extreme amusement park thrill rides out there. Jeff, why don't you start off by explaining exactly how we ended up at an amusement park built on the edge of a cliff 1,300 feet above the Colorado River?
Yes.
I will tell you how I got there. I was Googling extreme theme park rides, and this one came up, and I'm like, Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park sounds lame. It's in Glenwood, Colorado. But there's a few of this examples of this trend where they take a pretty good coaster. It looks like a, fairly basic coaster, but then they put it right at the edge of a cliff. So that, or on top of buildings and all that. This one is on top of, as Dan said, a 1,300-foot drop-off cliff. So when you're whipping around the corners, you're just looking, it looks like you're 1,300 feet off the ground. The ground is
called the cliffhanger.
And this is one of several scary coasters, attractions they have right on the edge of these cliffs here. And
did you look at the giant canyon swing that they have there?
That's the one that was on the list of extreme rides. And when I started clicking, this one actually looks so terrifying I would never do it. It's one of those swing out rides. It's just the most basic swing and spin thing, but when you're swinging, you're 1,300 feet. I just cannot do these things. I know that I'm not actually 1,300 feet off where the base is, but it would feel like it, and I can't.
It's just too much at that point.
There's this picture of it swinging out over the edge, and it is over open air.
That swinging motion is kind of gross to me anyway after a minute, like the swinging pirate ship or space shuttle ones. It's after a while that feeling
is stomach going up and down and up and down.
Yeah, it's that pendulum, and you end up looking straight down at certain death. It's like fun. And then that mine drop is it's freaking underground. So there's like Heather's worst fear, right? Is being trapped underground. Mm-hmm. and then you drop in elevator. And
I mean,
Yeah,
leave it
it's
to him
like
to
Tower
cover
of Terror.
both fears.
The ride, the car for that haunted mine drop looks pretty much exactly like what you call Tower of Terror, but you're underground shooting down. Oh, I guess that's a real mine shaft they dropped this thing into. I feel like that's a no from me too. Maybe, I don't know. Combine
And it's
claustrophobia
haunted.
with dropping. I do love Tower of Terror and Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't know about the underground version. Thoughts?
yeah, I don't know about that. I think the only thing on this list that I would actually try is the Alpine coaster that they have. I've always wanted to go on one of those rides. Those look like fun.
I did the one at New York that starts off kind of up. You know, it's mostly on the ground, but some of it's like you're coming out of the building and stuff in Vegas. But this one's just way too high.
I do the mine drop. I really love rides like that.
Oh,
just drop. I can't do a lot of roller coasters these days. But I can do ones that just sort of drop up and down. So, and I absolutely love that feeling of kind of floating off the seat a little bit. So.
Is it because the change in direction from one to the other and back?
Yeah, like with my back,
around?
It's mainly just really jerky turns that if I can't brace myself, which if you think about these, new over the shoulder roller coaster harnesses, you can't use your arms to sort of brace yourself. You're just pinned where they want you to be, but you still can kind of move. So that's why I can do like Everest, because I can kind of get my hands out, put them where I need to, and be prepared. And I've ridden that ride so many times, I know exactly where I'm going to go on it. Yeah,
I think the plural of harness is harnai.
Harnai. It's a gaggle of harnais.
Well, the attraction that inspired this week's topic, Jess, you found this over in Dubai.
Yeah, so this is at the Bollywood themed park out there, Bollywood Parks Dubai, which that in itself, I'm not huge on Bollywood films, but I know there's a lot of singing and dancing, so I'm assuming there's a lot of singing and dancing at the Bollywood park.
Yeah, I have questions how this ended up in Dubai, but we'll cover that a different way.
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering too.
Well, Dubai's got it all basically at this point. So this is it's one of those spinning, classic swing rides, but this one is 460 feet in the air, which knocks out the previous record holder, which was the Orlando Starflyer at 450 feet tall. And yeah, it's lit up, and it just doesn't look safe. That's why I brought it up. Like those swing rides never look safe to me. And
every time I pass the one in Orlando, I think I want to go do it.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the car each time, and I will gladly video you doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I like those swings. I love the ones at California Adventure.
Mm-hmm. Those are fun.
I don't think I want to go as tall as this one in Dubai, though.
You're hanging from like school swing set chain. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one YouTube video of like somebody at a carnival where like one of the strings broke in the middle of the ride and they're just being dangled by their foot. And I was like, no, I'm good. That's good. I mean, it was like taken in like the early 90s at a roadside carnival. So they caveat emptor on that one. But it's still, it turned me off from ever wanting to ride those things. Maybe at Disney. I'll trust Disney with those.
That's the most simple ride mechanic. You're just going in a circle, but it just goes and climbs up high and makes it terrifying.
Yeah.
But I don't like anything like hanging from a chain like that feels like not enough.
Yeah. Maybe it needs a few more.
Or what about these ones where they bungee you, where they pull you down and then let you go? And there's like a 2-seater car that shoots up. No way.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of videos of people passing out. Those are funny. I mean,
those are funny.
Those are a lot of fun.
They have one of those in Orlando, too.
Yeah.
It's near the crazy swing ride.
Which I thought was Fun Spot, but I don't know. What is that called?
I found it yesterday, and now I can't remember what it was called. There is one that's similar to it at Fun Spot. I just found it's called the Sky Coaster.
Is that the one that they drop
you get hoisted up to the top of an A-frame, and then you pull a release like what's found on a parachute and free fall down. That's the one that's at Fun Spot. The other one is called Magical Midway, and that's the slingshot one in Orlando.
Is this the one you can see from Universal?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I found one of those it's in Dallas. There's this park called Zero Gravity Thrill Park.
Ooh.
And they've got one of those slingshot ones, but you're not even sitting in a capsule. You're just sitting on two chairs that have the bungee cords on the end. It kind of looks like you're in like the pocket on a slingshot, and instead of pulling you straight down, so you just kind of go up and down. And since you're only on, I think it's something about the number of bungee cords they use. They pull you at an angle. So when you get to the top, you loop around because of the action of like the slingshot action. You hit the end of that line and you do loops and flip around, and it's unpredictable and it's terrifying. But that park is also the one you might have seen. They've got the most free fall attraction ever. It's called Nothing But Net. And they lift you up 130 feet and you're on a harness that just forces you to fall so that you're laying on your back, but you just free fall 130 feet down to like a safety net below you.
What?
That's all the attraction is. Yeah.
That
No
has to kill
bungee,
your
no
back.
parachute, no straps. Just you, a 130-foot drop, and the safety net below.
No way in hell.
Yeah.
Also, this says you must not have back, neck, or head injuries or other medical conditions. Yeah, you
Because
think.
you
also
will
can't
when
be
you're done.
yeah. You must not be pregnant. Yeah, they did that one on, I think they've done that on Amazing Race.
Yeah, I saw something like this on something on TV, and there, no way. 110 to 240 pounds. Darn it, I'm just over.
They also have one more. This isn't a very big amusement park, but they have one called the Skyscraper, where they took like a giant wind turbine and put chairs on the ends of the blades, and you just spin around in a circle. And it's it. Go upside down.
Very creative.
I don't want anything that was repurposed from something else and turned into a ride.
Yeah, you hit 60 miles an hour and 4 G's of force down. That sounds like fun. Heather had another attraction in the Middle East. That sounds terrifying.
It's did you know they're opening a Six Flags in Saudi Arabia?
That's the logical location.
Right. This is part of Saudi Arabia's recent opening, trying to get tourism dollars. They just opened the country to international visitors in 2019. And they're trying to build a cruise industry. They're trying to build luxury hotels. And one of their initiatives is they're building a Six Flags. And they are the flagship attraction at this Six Flags. I cannot pronounce the name of it. It's Six Flags, Kiddiya. Kiddiya? That's my guess.
Yeah, sure.
But it's
Dan
a coaster.
is our resident.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
You just go full speed ahead and don't worry about it.
It's
plow
a
through it.
coaster called Falcon's Flight, and it looks absolutely terrifying and amazing at the same time. But my favorite thing about this thing is that it's going to have a top speed of 155 miles per hour.
Ouch.
There's a 520-foot drop that's a vertical cliff drop into this crazy illuminated tunnel. It's got corkscrews and inversions, and it's also super long. It's like something
But how
like
thick is it?
that I can't tell you.
1.54 miles.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's the current longest. This one is longer than that. It's I had it too. Let's see.
Yeah, it's going to be a very long
2.5
ride,
miles.
but maybe it'll go
2.5
fast
miles.
because it's going 155
2.5,
miles an hour.
wow.
2.5
Yeah.
miles of track.
Yeah, these drops are good. It's a hyper coaster, so it's those big, lurching, super high drops. Nothing real extreme as far as whip. It looks like it'd be a smooth, lovely ride, but wow, this thing is hauling booty.
Did you notice in the video, because of how fast it goes, presumably the cars have windshields on them?
Mm-hmm. I saw that, which is good because I've ridden the hyper coaster at SeaWorld, the Mako, and when I rode it in the front row, my contacts peeled off my eyes and went flying.
That's kind of nuts.
And I've had like insects hit my face on a motorcycle doing like 80 miles an hour. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Hit a fly at 150 miles an hour.
Y'all
that time
remember
that
when
seagull hit
Fabio?
Yeah. That would crush his skull.
That's so funny that it happened to Fabio.
I don't see any numbers on it. They say they're also going to have the world's largest drop tower ride there. So
They're building
gotta
one
assume
that's
it's
bigger than the Bollywood. They're taller than that sky flyer that will drop you, kind of like what's it called at Cedar Point? I forget what it's called, but it's just
tower thing.
Yeah,
Demon drop.
No, not the demon drop. They have a drop tower that's even taller, and it's one of those that you kind of like Doctor Doom's free fall, that you're sitting on the outside of it. You're not on an enclosed capsule, and it shoots you up and then just drops you down.
Yeah.
I don't know why those are way more scary to me than the interior one. It's the same chance of falling to your death, but I don't know why. Being on the outside of the thing makes my tummy feel tickly.
Busch Gardens, Florida is also getting another super steep, fast coaster called the Iron Gwazi.
Oh, yeah. Remember we made that metal band
just
logo.
Open, or it's about to open soon?
200-foot drop, and it's only going to go 76 miles an hour, so I'm no longer impressed.
That's nothing.
Sunday drive.
That's barely faster than Test Track.
There's one of those straight up twist and put you back down ones. Where's that Ferrari park? That one looks really cool. It just shoots.
That one's in Dubai.
It goes straight and then it goes almost straight up and then does barrel rolls while you go up. And then it's more than a straight back down. It like inverted drop. Those things look nuts to me.
Yeah. No, thanks.
I'd be more likely to do those than the extreme spinny stuff. There's one that's I've seen. I couldn't find it. I was looking for the ride, but there's a kind of a viral YouTube clip of this ride. I think it's in Germany, and it's like 5 rows of about 20 people across, and it's just a big arm that it spins. The arm moves like a train thing that turns the wheel, and then the car itself spins on top of that, and then it starts going backwards and forwards, and you'll spin like 5 times one way and then lurch you back, all the while you're on a big circle. That would make me
And it'll
sick.
like freeze you so that you're sitting upside down.
Oh,
They used to have one of those at Geauga Lake in Ohio. I've seen videos of one of those that's built right at the edge of a waterfall. And so they turn you upside down and freeze you in the waterfall for a second and then flip you around and stuff through it. Yeah, there's some of those. I found a whole list of these like amusement park, simple, flippy, spinny rides like that. They're just insane. There's this one where you sit in this car that's got 2 wings on it that you can control. You hold on to and control the angle of the wings, and it spins you in circles. So if you load the rings just right, you can just sit there and do barrel rolls for as long as you want to do. Like, have you ever ridden the zipper at a carnival?
Super
It goes
sickening.
up and down, and it just spins
I
around.
threw up in both of my brother's faces on a zipper at the carnival on Kwajalein.
Nice. Have you ever heard of Diggerland in the UK?
No.
Didn't we talk about that on the show like a long time ago?
We might have.
I think you brought it up, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's a franchise of theme parks that are all based around construction equipment that they turn into rides.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, kids
Yeah,
love
so this
that.
one's just got a chair at the end of a excavator arm that they just lift you up and spin you around in circles for a while.
Yeah, I bet kids would love that.
It's called the eyeball blood vessel burster.
Catchy.
Yeah.
What about the stuff at the top of the stratosphere in Vegas? Would you ever do that?
No.
Not
What's
a
that
one
one
of
that's
them.
basically a teeter-totter? You see that one?
Yeah,
They
I
have
found
one
that.
called the Insanity.
Yeah, that's the one that like pretends you're going to fall off.
Yeah.
Your little car goes up this thing and out on an arm that then goes ding, like it tips over like it's falling off the building. Nothing.
No.
Oh, the Insanity is one of those spinner ones. It's kind of like the...
Oh,
God. No, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Dizzy too easy.
Yeah.
we found a list of the most extreme thrill park rides, and one of them, well, a couple of them were in a category of their own, and they include that drop slide at Volcano Bay that we were just discussing, reopening soon. The Kiri, whatever it is, body plunge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where they basically just drop you vertically into a tube of water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have seen a kid that tried to bail out of this ride after the floor dropped out. That does not work, by the way.
Oh. Would he just like pin himself to try?
Yeah, this was on the Aqua Dunk on the Disney Magic, and Heather and I witnessed a child that tried to brace himself, and then he made this
It didn't work.
sound all the way.
Can't Ninja Warrior yourself out of that one, kiddo.
You could hear a squeak, and then he finally just boom, just dropped. Of course.
I don't recommend trying that on the one at Universal Volcano Bay.
No,
It's 125-foot vertical drop.
yeah, you'd burn your arms off.
Ouch. Ouch.
I don't have any toes left.
Apparently, there's this water park in the UK called Middlemore Water Park, where for $70, you had to pay an extra $70 and they'd load you up into a real life trebuchet
Oh,
and
fun.
just fling you towards a net.
Yes.
What is that?
It's
Slingshot.
It's a slingshot launcher, the giant one.
like a catapult, but it's one where you're kind of in a.
Oh yeah, it swings around and then flips you.
Yeah, and it's literally a giant wooden trebuchet. And they did this until in 2002, an unfortunate rider missed the safety net at the other end and was killed.
Oh, shit.
Which you think that would have been predictable.
Yeah.
They really need to make that. There's no way you're missing. Like make it
Right.
12 times as big as it needs to be.
And also, I'm sorry that I'm laughing about it, but seriously, this is like a Looney Tunes episode. Like, that's exactly what you had to expect was going to happen.
Did the trebuchet say Acme on the side?
To the surprise of absolutely no one.
Dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Dead.
Apparently in Germany, there's a popular attraction called a Devil's Wheel that they put up at Oktoberfest celebrations, which is just a floor on a turntable that you spin around on really fast. And so you go sit out in the middle and
End up being
spins
flung off
around.
the side.
Yeah, but the best part is there's a whole room of people watching you. And part of the experience is they've got a guy on a microphone making fun of the people on the ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd go watch that for sure. Like I love sitting and having a drink on a cruise ship next to the surf rider and just watching people walk out on that thing. That's good for a couple of hours.
And drink every time they fall. It's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
game.
Heather and I were at Margaritaville up on the bar in Hollywood, Florida, and they had a bar that overlooked the surf rider. You just watch everybody wipe out. Good times.
It's good. Have any of you been to Busch Gardens in Tampa?
Never.
No.
They have a ride called the Falcon's Fury that's supposed to simulate being a falcon in a straight towards the ground dive to catch prey. Yeah, it's 300 feet high, and right before it drops, your seat pivots 90 degrees so that you're facing the ground as it goes straight down the drop.
Yeah, I've seen those coasters before.
Yeah, that's a no thank you
Coaster
for
or
me.
a drop ride?
It's a coaster, I think. No, sorry, it is a drop tower. Yeah, it pulls you up.
Oh,
I thought it was a coaster, and
Have you
I've never
seen those
done it.
coasters where they lift you straight up, kind of like
Yeah.
Rip Ride Rocket, and then it pivot, or they lift you up a tilt or a hill, and then they pivot you up and down.
Yes, that's what I thought. This was a coaster, but it is just a drop tower that pivots you forward so that you're going facing the ground as they drop you. Mm-mm.
No thanks.
I don't think so.
the one that gets me is we were talking about the Stratosphere Tower in Vegas. They have one where you're on a cable and harnessed up and whatever, and you just jump off, and then they lower you slightly. I guess it's slightly slower than free fall, but you're just free falling for a while, and then like slows you down, and then you land nicely. But you're literally just jumping off a building. I cannot imagine getting the muster to do that.
You jump all the way off and land on the strip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're hit by a car.
855 feet.
Ugh.
No way.
Yeah, there's one of those sky swings, kind of like the one that you're talking about in Florida. That's over the Oribi Gorge in South Africa. You jump off of a cliff into a gorge, 330 feet in the air, and you just swing down at the end of Superman style at the end of a rope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need more than
70
rope
miles
or a playground chain holding me. I need big armature.
Yeah. That would be ideal. Safety first.
I'm just kind of chicken, and everything makes my tummy feel funny.
I can't do that stuff in VR. It makes me feel weird. I think I can do it in real life.
Yeah. Like, hey, not even VR. Like, last time I played Assassin's Creed, jumping off the edge of this building, like, oh.
I gotta go sit down.
Yeah. Well, that's enough for me.
Getting too old for this shit.
You kids and your crazy video games.
Kids are like, Dad, you're just playing Animal Crossing. This is too intense. This is too intense. I don't know what to do with these turnips. God, turn it off.
Purchase a hut.
My vertigo's acting.
My house isn't good enough.
Boy. Well, thanks for hanging out with us again this week. If you're excited to have the crap scared out of you at one of these extreme amusement parks or explore anywhere else around the world, Keys to the World Travel has a football stadium on Super Bowl Sunday full of responsibly masked and socially distanced expert travel planners ready to make your vacation dreams a reality. Head to www.keytotheworldtravel.com to get started with a no-obligation quote. Don't forget to catch up with our friend, the Theme Park Professor, for all the latest theme park news and tips at www.themeparkprofessor.com. Word of mouth is always the best way to help us grow our show. If you have a friend or two who you think would appreciate our special brand of globetrotting jackassery, tell them what makes our show so great and send them our way. You can find links to subscribe to the show and all the latest updates at www.goldkeyadventures.com. Can't wait to hang out with you again, and we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
Don't go to Flo's.
That's my least favorite amusement park ride is the flip-flop in my stomach after eating at Flo's.
That's extreme.
To ask a question or share your travel story, you can reach us by smoke signal, carrier pigeon, or send an email to goldkeyadventurers@gmail.com. And make sure you follow the Gold Key Adventure Society on Facebook and Instagram. A huge thanks to our sponsor, Key to the World Travel. For all your travel planning needs, visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a free quote and help planning the trip of a lifetime. Tell them the Gold Key Adventurers sent you. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. Thanks to Outer Vibe for the use of their song Hoka Hey for the intro and outro of our show. Find them on Facebook at The Outer Vibe or check out www.outervibe.com for tour dates, music, merch, and more. We'll see you next week for another meeting of the Gold Key Adventure Society. And until then, remember, life is short and the world is wide. So go have an adventure.